2013. Scope of conduct. Defendant Trontavia Stevens, an associate of YSL, did commit the felony offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, to wit, a firearm, against the person of Reginald Pettis by pointing at, towards, or in the direction of Reginald Pettis with said firearm, placing Reginald Pettis in reasonable apprehension of immediately receiving a violent injury in violation of Georgia law pursuant to OCGA 16-5-21, which is an act of racketeering activity under OCGA 16-14-3, subpart 5A-V, and an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Act 2, on or about 06/18/2013, scope of conduct. Defendant Justin Cobb, an associate of YSL, did commit a felony offense of theft by deception against the person of Durante Johnson by obtaining a firearm by deceitful means from Durante Johnson with the intention of depriving Durante Johnson of said firearm in violation of Georgia law pursuant to OCGA 16-8-3, which is an act of racketeering activity under OCGA 16-14-3, subpart 5A, Roman numeral X11, and an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Act 3, on or about 08/23/2013, scope of conduct. Defendant Shannon Stillwell, an associate of YSL, did commit the felony offense of possession of marijuana with intent to distribute in violation of Georgia law pursuant to OCGA 16-13-30J1, which is an act of racketeering activity under OCGA 16-14-3, 5A, Roman numerals XXXVI, and an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Act 4, on or about 09/09/2013, scope of conduct. Defendant Jeffrey Williams, an associate of YSL, did commit the felony offense of theft by receiving stolen property when he possessed the property, to wit, a firearm, the property of Andrew Phillips and Ann Phillips, that Williams knew or should have known was stolen with the intent of depriving Andrew Phillips and Ann Phillips of said property in violation of Georgia law pursuant to OCGA 16-8-7, which is an act of racketeering activity under OCGA 16-14-3, 5A, Roman numeral XII, and an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Overt act, I should say 5/09/11/2013. Scope of conduct. Defendant Walter Murphy, an associate of YSL, did, with the intent to commit a theft, commit the felony offense of attempted armed robbery by taking a substantial step toward the commission of the offense by pointing an offensive weapon, to wit, a firearm, at the person of Derek Dodson, and demanding property from or from the immediate presence of Derek Dodson in violation of Georgia law pursuant to OCGA 16-4-1, which is an act of racketeering activity under OCGA 16-14-3, 5A, Roman numeral XII, and an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Act 6, on or about 09/11/2013, scope of conduct. Defendant Walter Murphy, an associate of YSL, did commit the felony offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, to wit, a firearm, an object which, when used offensively against a person, is likely to result in serious bodily injury against the person of Derek Dodson by shooting at, toward, or in the direction of Derek Dodson, with said firearm in violation of Georgia law pursuant to OCGA 16-5-21, which is an act of racketeering activity under OCGA 16-14-35AV, and an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Act 7, on or about 09/11/2013, scope of conduct. Defendant Walter Murphy, an associate of YSL, did commit the felony offense of possession of a firearm by a first offender probationer in violation of Georgia law pursuant to OCGA 16-11-131 by possessing a firearm, to wit, a handgun, after having been sentenced pursuant to Article 3 of Chapter 8 of Title 42 of the Official Code of Georgia to a term of probation as a felony first offender for the felony offense of robbery in indictment 09 SC 86267 in the Superior Court of Fulton County, Georgia on the 16th day of February 2010, an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Act 8, on or about 11/29/2013, scope of conduct. Defendant Antonio Sledge, an associate of YSL, did commit the felony offense of possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, cocaine being a controlled substance, in violation of Georgia law pursuant to OCGA 16-13-30B, which is an act of racketeering under OCGA 16-14-35A Roman numeral XXXIV, and an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Act 9, on or about 04/20/2014, scope of conduct. Defendant Jeffrey Williams, an associate of YSL, did appear in a video released on social media called EWW, where defendant states, "Red just like Elmo, but I never fucking giggle. YSL won't fold, pick his ass off from the balcony. YSL wipe a nigga nose, I'm fuck for the cash, then she getting robbed by Tick, in a Bentley on West Lee getting trailed by a sniper. All I ever wanted was the money. Put your hands in the air if you dare. Any motherfucker step over here, F and N, put them in a wheelchair," an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Act 10, on or about 07/13/2014, scope of conduct. And there's a picture of this one, ladies and gentlemen. Defendant Walter Murphy, an associate of YSL, did pose for a photo released on Murphy's